Look here. Remember that for their,
But yeah,
remember that for their reviews are late. Matt, Ryan, how's it going? The pool's probably busy today. Yeah.
It's like, be the
All right. Late, minute late. All right, we'll call the meeting to order with roll call.
Mayors,
Here.
Hyde, Schulte,
here,
Dietrich,
Here.
Moon, Friends,
here,
Peterson,
Here.
Coomer,
Here.
Bauer,
Here.
Mayor.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The council will receive information on non-agenda topics brought before the council by members of the public. The council will not discuss these topics and will not take action on any of them at this meeting. Is there anyone who's on the agenda wish to be heard? We will go to consent agenda. One motion approves all consent items. We're going to delete number 5 and number 6 from consent. He's no longer able to serve. Number 1, approve meeting minutes from June 22nd, 2026 Common Council meeting. Number 2, receive June monthly payments report. Number 3, receive June monthly building permit report. Number 4, receive June monthly ambulance report. Any questions on the consent, or I'll take a motion?
Approve.
Motion by Maris, second by Schulte. Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mayor proclamations and presentations. These are the ones I like to do. Number 1 for the evening, recognition of service and retirement to Diane Fry for 18 years and 9 months of service with the Reedsburg ambulance. Diane, you want to just, we'll have a little chat about your time. Josh, you want to come up too? I don't want to push you on the spot. Because I feel bad because her plaque isn't ready yet. So we got to kind of ad lib today. First of all, congratulations.
well,
Diane.
thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. Josh, you want to give a little background? I want to get some couple stories from your time. I'm sure you got to have a couple.
Nothing I can talk about.
So I had just asked for Diane to be recognized in EMS. We don't get a lot of people who actually get to retire from EMS or who actually retire from EMS. Normally when somebody becomes an EMT, they only last about 5 years in the profession. It's a tolling profession, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so for Diane to have done it for 18 years with us, how long with Kaz?
20 something.
Yeah, over 20 years. Plus she was a dispatcher, 911 dispatcher for our police department for 18 years. So, you know, to have somebody get to retirement in EMS is really significant. So I asked the mayor to just recognize Diane and her years of achievement her years of service to the city, because it's truly a recognizable moment.
Especially. That's what you have to do. That's a long time to be able to do it. Not just with EMS, but with dispatch and helping.
Not that I wanted people to get sick, but, and it was just great to see the squad grow the way it has been, and the continued improvement. Now the blood, you know, being able to do blood on scene, and the baby box was especially exciting. But yeah, I enjoyed watching it grow and growing to an extent with it.
I get a Facebook moment.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
you two maybe shake me.
Well, we're not going to shake
No.
you.
There we go. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It's quite an accomplishment, and Diane, enjoy your time at your leisure now. My dad told me when he retired, it's the best job he ever applied for. So enjoy your application. All right, general business. We have one item for the evening: review and approve, deny bids for field house. Max.
Thank you, Mayor. Usually Steve does this. He is up in Minnesota looking at wastewater stuff. So that project never ends. So I'm filling in for him today. We ended up having 6 different companies request the bid packets, and we ended up with 3 bids. The first bid was from Tiles and Style LLC. They were out of Northern Illinois, and their bid was $950,265. Then we received a bid from Basement Bros Incorporated. They are out of Johnson Creek, Wisconsin. They came the day before the bids and reviewed the property, and then they talked with Steve a lot about the project. Ended up submitting a bid of $759,770. And then we received a third bid from ProStar Surface, and that was for $884,500. There is a slight difference between the Basement Bros and the other bids. So the other bids are exactly to bid specs. That is this rubber floor, which I believe you have seen before, but I can pass it around. That is a similar rubber floor to what's in the field house now. And again, that's just for the track area and then entrance area in the field house. And Basement Bros provided a bid for a different type of floor. It's still a plastic rubber floor, but it's poured on, and I'll pass that around as well. I have been told that it is less expensive, and the wear life is less, so it won't last quite as long. However, in speaking with Basement Bros, they thought that it was sufficient for the use that we want in terms of the track. Under the bid documents, Steve is able to determine whether or not an alternative to the exact basically brand is sufficient in terms of meeting the bid. And he believed that it was. The other difference in the Basement Bros bid versus ProStar is Basement Bros did not include the fan system underneath of the flooring. And speaking with them, based on their floor system, which is very comparable, but just a different brand than ProStar's, they said based on the size of the floor and based on studies that they have had done based on that size, that the fan system doesn't work and is not necessary for that big of a size. So those are the differences in the floors. Basement Bros had a lot of good references. It's in your packet. I did speak with a representative from ProStar a few times today. And he basically was advocating for himself on the bid, and stating that the fans work, and that they would be necessary for the floor system. And also mentioned that the floor type that was bid on by Basement Bros would take about $100,000 off of his bid. One of the reasons for that is that the flooring system that he bid on, he would have to get a rush order on, and it'd be a $40,000 upcharge to get it from overseas. So he thinks that he's comparable if he's switched the floor. So I told him that I'd provide that information to you. I also spoke a few times with the tenant, Just a Game. They work with ProStar at their other facility. And they basically wanted me to share that they're advocating for ProStar based on their relationship and that they've always been happy with them. And that ProStar also does their refinishing on their floors. So they wanted me to express that they're advocating for them. In terms of the bid packet itself, at least from the city's perspective and Steve and I's perspective, all of them are qualified bidders. It comes down to whether or not those alternatives are sufficient, I guess, for you guys.
Fans weren't bid as an alternate, correct?
No.
So if ProStar changed that flooring, would they still have fans?
Yes.
And that would be, what would be the net difference then from what that number is?
He didn't give me an exact number, but it would be close to the current bid.
But it would include fans.
Correct.
My thoughts, I'm definitely, having dealt with gym floors before, a few of them, not a ton of them, but a few of them, knowing what good the fan system does at Webb is definitely a must. We have to do that. It's saved that floor for sure. And when it wasn't working for a while, we knew it wasn't working because the floor started to have issues. The Basement Brothers, that name sounds familiar. I think I dealt with them before, maybe, but I can't confirm that. I don't want to talk too much about it because if it is who I think it is, it wasn't a good experience, but I can't confirm that. But, so was the bid that we wanted this floor?
Yep. So the rubber
That was the
flooring
spec?
in the spec was this floor, the one that was done by ProStar. So Basement Bros had reached out to Steve prior to bidding and asked if it was okay to potentially propose an alternative essentially in their bid. And he said that they're open to do whatever they want. And then based on that, he would determine whether or not it met the specifications. And he was satisfied after speaking with them and reviewing it. So
So there's a difference in longevity of each. Do you know what that difference is? Are we talking 5 years, 10 years?
it's not substantial. This is more expensive, so presumably it's going to last longer and work better. The difference between either one of these now versus what's in there is that there's going to be a subfloor underneath that has cushion. So there's going to be increased cushion regardless of
Matter what
which
you do.
floor you
Yeah.
choose. This is a pour down floor, so there's no seams, anything like this. This comes in rolls. It's rolled out. If you go to the floor now, you can kind of see where those seams are. It's not a huge deal. And now there's obviously going to be a lot less space in terms of where that rubber flooring is.
If I might ask a question, on the track floor that you're talking about, on the track floor that you're talking about, so let's say damage occurs. So how hard is it going to be to repair said damage? Because like with a rolled product, you generally just can peel out the section or peel out an extended section and replace that particular flooring. With a poured flooring, in all the years of construction I've never been able to repair it.
Sure.
We're on the same page. I was thinking the same thing, Roy, with a poured floor.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Even with like playground poured flooring, that they use on the playgrounds, we've had issues with that, and it's not easy to match that.
'Cause I mean, it's even as simple as a poured epoxy floor. If you end up with a big gouge or a crack, or God forbid, I had someone drop an engine block on one and it really was ugly. We literally you have to cut the whole giant section out, redo the whole floor, and then you're starting from one end to the other, polishing, cleaning, and getting it set back up. It's much more problematic with a poured floor. It's cheaper and faster. That's why people tend to like it. I'm not a big fan of the pouring floor.
At the end of the day, it's the wood floor that's the problem though, right? So I mean,
The primary factor is the wood floor.
I think whatever wood floor is going to be most beneficial for them and us not have to replace again in 2 years is where we should be looking at. The track isn't really the issue, is it?
No, it's the difference in the price.
The track doesn't get used near as much as the wood portion.
It's used a lot for walking and those types of things, but the issue with the condition of the current floor doesn't affect the track. It affects the playing surface.
But inside that facility, I mean, we're not going to have anything besides relatively feet walking on that track. Garage or a shop. I mean, there shouldn't be anything in there to really fall on that
No, the only
to
damage
damage it.
the only potential damages would be the moving of all of the bleachers and then moving of different equipment. So if you look in their bid, they do have, in terms of the lowest bid, they do have things in terms of reinforcing that area to make sure that it can handle the weight and all of that. But I don't see anything in there in terms of increasing the surface strength for those types of things.
So how do we determine a number when they say it'll be close? What does that mean?
I agree with that.
The other thought I just have with pouring the track, if you poured that floor, is there, like with the other floor, that the stuff that was originally in the bid, that has give? How's that going to match up with where the wood floor is? Because the wood floor moves too. Is it going to crack over time?
Yeah, I did have I was concerned about that. They did this Basement Bros. They did a very similar type of floor in Sheboygan for Acuity Insurance Company. So it's their own campus's basically field house. And the way that was set up is it was three basically basketball courts, and the one in the middle was all this exact plastic, and it's butted up right against the wood floor, and that wasn't an issue.
But the main floor, as far as the wood floor, the main difference between the two of them is Base Brothers wanted to do one coat of sealant, 3 coats of finish, but no fans. And ProStar wanted to do the 2 and 2 with the fans.
Correct. Other than that, there's no substantial difference. They're different brands, but all the specs are the same. They still have the rubber things in the bottom to allow the airflow and cushion and all of that.
Is there an option with the Basement Brothers to do the fans with that, or is that just no fans if they do the floor?
I didn't speak with them, Steve did, but Steve said that they don't recommend fans with that big of a floor.
But ProStar does recommend the fans.
Correct.
And Tile and Style recommends the fans.
Yeah.
And Mayor recommends the fans.
Yep. The other difference is ProStar is planning on using the current rubber floor as the vapor barrier, and Basement Bros was planning on adding an additional layer of a vapor barrier above that, and that may play into that factor. I'm not sure.
So that there might be a difference in price with ProStar to, I guess, modify their bid with, did I get that right?
Correct. I spoke with their representative today, and he was saying that the pour-on floor is a substantially cheaper product. Plus, they have it, and they don't have to ship it, which is that's automatically a $40,000 difference. So he said that it would be 6 figures. His bid would be at least six figures less,
And they have a fan.
and the fan would still be there. He said he said that he would not do it without the fan.
I don't know how you award without it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that.
No, if my recommendation is if you wanted to do that, we would have to rebid it.
Rebid it, yeah.
I'd be a lot more comfortable with that.
Wasn't there a window that JAG had that for availability for time though?
That's my only other question.
Yeah.
Is, time will be of the essence eventually, but is that time now?
They need it required. They want it done by December 15th because they have a tournament then.
Sure.
So in speaking, I know that time was a big factor with this floor because they are having to ship it in. The problem is if we rebid, we have to go through the whole bid process again.
I'm just trying to think, but didn't Lance or somebody from JAG say they had like a window of opportunity that there was nothing going on that would work?
Potentially after.
No, before, like soon, I thought.
Yeah,
like the summer yet?
basically from now until November.
Okay, so that's pretty much they can work. around
Yeah.
it. So though, it takes time to read.
I would say that delaying it would cause an effect on that. But I also would hate for you guys to rush a decision without having all of that information and
Yeah, this is,
a bad decision
this-
on the floor.
this is a quandary here. I'm, first of all, we're having to put money back into this, which is something I think everybody around the horseshoe supports. Not everybody, not all of our constituents would, but it's one of those things that it's a service that the city provides, or it's working with JAG as a partner. I mean, you've got the restaurants out there not too far away. I mean, we want to do this right.
I want to do it again in 2 years. That's my big thing.
Well, goodness, somebody else will be doing it in 2 years. None of us will be. I trust you. Yeah, if JAG prefers working with ProStar believes that they can come up with with a similar product that's in the ballpark of what Baseman has, and Baseman just didn't follow exactly the same formula, but according to Steve, who is not here, meets the standards. I could tell you, and when I wear my other hat in local government, this is when you get outside your wheelhouse and you have to count on others to make the right calls. That's fine as long as they're making the right calls and they're available. I feel very uncomfortable with this. I for one would prefer to rebid.
I understand the delay in time, but
What's the fastest the bidding process can be?
We started the last bidding process at the beginning. Trying to think when that was. I think it was 6 weeks.
now so all of your bid package and stuff is there. You just need to make sure that that alternate is highlighted as comparable. So all of that stuff is ready to go. You need 2 public notices in the paper and a week in between, 7 days. So it really shouldn't take more than 4, realistically.
And also, if I may,
It's 4, but we have to wait for a council meeting. So we're looking at the end of August. It takes us, if we do a notice tomorrow, which we won't be able to do, we'd have to wait till the next week.
Legally ask for a point of clarification on these. We have some variables here that Baseman Brothers went without the fan, but with a different product that with evaluation seems fine. Package, but with the original product, I mean, you're the lawyer.
We can't have them amend their bids.
They've already seen the other bids.
I won't want my name with that.
I would be dumbfounded if JAG is, has a preference, for who does their floor, and yet they don't have time for them, or anybody else to make a bid. I mean, no matter how you slice it, we're holding the bag, I guess. But, if I'm sure JAG would have to understand that, okay, we'll go around this again. But if they're saying, no, we need a decision, we need something, but I don't sense that is the case.
To be blunt, really, Baseman Brothers didn't bid it to what we wanted it to be. That's my opinion. We wanted fans, and that was the floor that was spec'd. They went with other stuff to make their bid cheaper.
Yep. I mean, that is.
At the end of the day, let's just throw it out there. That's what they did.
The question is, are you okay with the alternate of the cheaper flooring? And if so, then we'll rebid with those specs. And If you're not, then we would probably need to go with the person that did it to the specs, to the exact specs.
We're talking about saving $100,000 on a project that is already costing $750,000 more than I think everybody around here wants to pay to begin with. I think it's worth taking the time.
That's why I wish a JAG representative were here. That would have been nice too.
We have a special council meeting to
We
actually
can do that. Definitely.
Yes.
I
Okay,
think time is of the essence because, the end of August, I mean, before we know it, it's December. I mean, but if we could, our notices in,
Yeah. I will say from Jack's perspective, they've reiterated to me the entire time that this is their preference, but in the end of the day, they're happy that we're moving forward with the floor. And that's their primary goal, and that they're very satisfied with the city moving towards that. But it sounds like, well, I guess it's up to you guys if you want to do the rebid with the specs. I'd like some type of motion to do that.
what, are we talking about giving the option to the new poured floor, that product there?
I think that's the only way it gets cheaper.
Yeah. And do we require them to put the money in for the fan?
I mean, I think
I really
based
think
off
we hold
of,
to our guns on that, guys. That's, I get cheaper, but cheaper can get you in trouble too.
I
I
think,
think we need to stick to our guns with the fans.
It seems like it to me.
It's going to raise the price,
More of a
obviously.
question of
for-
clarification.
I would agree.
and I think if they want to propose it with no fan, they should explain why to you guys.
Well, and Basement Brothers were the only ones that came and actually looked at the surface. Like,
Basement and ProStar.
oh, ProStar did show up. Okay.
Correct.
And they still think we need the fans. I think you should require the fans to be bid. I think that's part of the bid package.
need a bad guy?
Sure.
Okay.
So
Move
what
to
would-
rebid.
What would be the ultimate timeline then for us to get moving on this if we call a special meeting?
Steve's not back till Wednesday, which means we won't be able to get the bid package to the paper in order to publish it until next week to meet their timeline, which means it won't be in the paper until the week after. Right, Jacob?
We can't get that in without Steve being here?
Your after bid shouldn't change very much unless it has exact specifications on flooring and fans.
It does.
Oof.
Brian,
Thursday for the next Thursday? At what time? Okay. So if we can get in the bid, we can get it into next week's paper for the first notice. Which then,
Get a quorum here, say 3:00 before we meet the 4:00 deadline on the paper.
next Thursday.
Did it on the 6th
Yes.
and we'd have a meeting on the 10th.
We could do normal meeting August 10th.
yeah, I think that would work just fine.
Because we
Okay.
have to have apples to apples
Right,
and a
And-
number.
Yeah.
right, and a solid number. And Missy, you're right. I mean, it should be, a lot of it'll just be plug and play, but I'd rather be, like Max, I'd rather have, I know Steve being here to know that it's legit, that we're doing it right again.
If at the end of this next bidding process, we decide that we would like to take ProStar's original bid, is that possible, or we're stuck with what's done on the next bid?
We're stuck with the new bids unless we wanted alternates. You can do alternate bids on the new one. giving two separate alternates.
I think we give ourselves as much flexibility as we can, so we're
Sure.
not stuck with just one thing. If alternates is that
Alternate. Are you talking about alternate with no fan?
No, I think everybody in agreement is in agreement with the fan around the horse.
But what I'm thinking is what if Basement Brothers does the same thing they just got done doing? Well, you don't need a fan. Here's our price with,
I think we reject it because it doesn't meet the specs.
that's what I was thinking about today.
Okay.
Got it. So alternate for different type of flooring, rubber flooring,
board versus the rolled.
Ford versus that. And then Basement Brothers had some other options in theirs as well. With different styles of ramps and those types of things. I could include those as potential options too, but I don't want to complicate it too much.
Right.
So basically two different types of flooring, option one, option two for both
With a fan,
with fan.
and the hardwood would stay the same as.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need a bad guy?
Is that in the form of a motion, John?
Yes, it is.
I second.
Motion by Dietrich, seconded by Maris. Any questions on the motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good conversation. We'll get there. Go ahead.
Could you check? You said you thought one of them maybe had a background issue.
Have a good night, guys.
We'll check.
I know
There's been a previous issue with ProStar in the school district.
that's what I thought I heard.
ProStar, I thought it was Basement Brothers.
No. I will, we'll talk with the school district.
Yeah.
More.
All right, we'll move on. Recommendations from boards, committees, and commissions. Recommendation from Public Works. Public hearing, ordinance number 1987-26, changing stop signs on South Viking Drive and Commercial Avenue to all-way stop. Max.
Thank you,
Filling in
Mayor.
for Steve again.
Yeah. So this is at South Viking and Commercial. We discussed this at the last meeting. There's been issues. Jacob just pulled up the overhead map. So coming from the left side, it's right hand, no stop. And then there's no stop signs coming from the south. And we received multiple complaints about it, the intersection being confusing. There was a request actually from one of the businesses to the south in the business park to make it an all-way stop. To my knowledge, we haven't received any complaints stating that the all-way stop would be an issue. So that's the proposed ordinance change. Is to add an all-way stop from all three directions.
Any questions for Max before we take public hearing? The room emptied out. All right, I'll take public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1987-26? Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1987-26? Last call. Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1987-26? Hearing no one, town to meeting has nothing. I will close public hearing.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'd like to go home with more than a mere win in voting on this, as my wife works in that area. And she, bless her heart, received numerous concerns and complaints about this stop sign. So I'd like to have my name on this if nobody minds. Move to approve ordinance number 1987-26.
Motion by Dietrich, seconded by Bauer. Anything further? Jake, roll call whenever you're ready.
Maris,
Aye.
Hyde, or I'm sorry, Schulte,
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Friends, Peterson,
Aye.
Boomer,
Aye.
Bauer.
Aye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We will go to commission, committee, board, and staff reports. Historic preservation, you guys have met in
It's getting
undisclosed
crazy.
locations.
No,
We
no,
know
no,
where you
we were
were.
all above board. We were disclosed.
Uh-huh.
It was posted. We were downstairs today. There's a room that has a lot of artifacts in it. We were kind of looking at some of the stuff that we have there. Just kind of see a hand on what we have and a hand on things we might be looking for in the future when we have our long-term planning of a potential museum. So it's exciting times, but we're doing the nitty-gritty work of the paperwork end of that right now, which is equally exciting. I'm guessing the lawyer in the room would agree. We're going over some of that, making sure that the things that we do accept in, that we have a clear understanding of who's responsible for what and who is responsible to keep track of what and what that chain of custody might look like. So fun and fascinating times are a-coming to the HPC.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Library board.
Funny's not
Bunny's not here. He has a wedding this week and his family came early, so he's celebrating. Any other committee, commission, staff member that want to report anything? Office of the Mayor, I just want to touch on Freedom Fest. I know I've told all the employees when they were working to thank them for all their hard work. Matt, thanks for everything behind the scenes to get all that lined up. It doesn't seem like it's major, but it's a major thing to all get underway. And of course, the guys came to, I don't know who all went, but the awesome band shelter tent that was put up over the stage was really impressive. A lot of compliments on that. We've already got it booked for next year, but they came just as the rains quit on Wednesday. So it was really, really wet. So I'm scrambling, calling Dakota right away. Dakota, where do you want them to go? So it's the least impactful. So they went through the small gate on the first base side right along the fence line there. And good thing they did that because they literally went in about a foot deep into the dirt until they got the infield. Then they were fine after that. But so I seen Dakota was rolling and getting things all back to normal. That's his baby. And I know it's a lot of work ahead of time. And even afterwards, street department guys came and got the stage set up. I went and helped them, and pretty neat to know how to do that now. So it's not that hard to do. So got events coming up. It's a really nice stage. Compliments from the band on that as well. Really well attended. Had a little bit of rain, but all the vendors were happy. Most of the food vendors, they all sold out. And actually a few of them went and got more food from other places to sell more, and they were all sold out. So I'm looking to expand East Street to a few more vendors as well. I got everyone locked in for next year. The only thing I don't have locked in is fireworks. Our normal supplier that we've used since day one, James is retiring, selling his company, Chrome Fireworks, Chrome Pyrotechnics. He's got some heart issues. So I'm looking for a new vendor for fireworks, but finding one that's available for the 4th of July is not a very easy thing to do. I got a couple of tricks in my sleeve I'm trying to work on and twist arms to get things to work. So we've always had fireworks on the 4th of July in Reedsburg, and I really, really don't want to break that tradition. So thanks everyone that came and attended. And again, thanks everyone that helped out. It was a great event and planning for next year already. We'll go around the horseshoe. Aaron.
Tonight.
Jake.
Good fireworks show.
Thank you. Yeah, again, I didn't mention that. The fireworks were spectacular. No doubt about that. Phil.
Nothing tonight, thanks.
Missy.
Not tonight. Thank you.
Max.
Nothing for me.
Jake. John.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Jason.
Nothing tonight.
Right.
Nothing for me.
All right. Stay cool. Enjoy the summer's flying by, that's for sure. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Missy.
Second.
Seconded by Aaron. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Didn't think so. Motion carries.